Hi, today we're at St David's Bishop's Palace in Pembrokeshire. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to film here, so I'm being a bit careful because there's some official people around. The bit I'm walking towards now is apparently the stable block. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to do my research. But this is right next to St David's Cathedral and was owned by the same man who owned Lamphey Bishop's Palace, which we previously filmed. So this is the stables. You can see where there would have been more than one floor. There's a bit of a floor support there. This is now owned and maintained by Cadw, Welsh Monuments. Apparently this is a fantastic view from the top and a great hall which is known for its carvings of many different faces. We've come shortly after opening time in the hopes that it would be quiet, and I think we've got lucky. Look at that. There's lots of crows, which makes it quite atmospheric. We're going to go in the cathedral later, but we'll be unable to film in there, but I will try and take quite a lot of photographs, which I should be able to do a photo vlog. So this is very dark. Let's see, Undercroft. Wow, look at the ceiling. I never fail to be fascinated by how these are built. The way all the stones are fitted together without falling down. It's the sort of place bats would live. But maybe it's probably too busy for bats. It might be a little bit dark on the camera, but look at that stonework. They had to give us the obligatory health and safety warning about it's dark, don't bang your head and don't fall downstairs. There were apparently information boards around the place. And you were encouraged to have a picnic. Oh, this is cool. So if it was not very nice weather, you could have your picnic in here. That's pretty amazing engineering. And I can't remember how old it is. I'll have a look at my guidebook thing that they've given me, but I don't think it says. There we are. Bishop Henry de Gower was the main one who lived here. He did most work on it, although it was a bit older than that. You can see the cathedral tower behind. So this is probably coming up to number 2. We're going to go up the stairs. Apparently it's the best preserved Bishop's Palace from this era. You can see down into that little place we just came out of, the Undercroft. We're entering the Great Chapel. I can speak a bit nearer now we're away from the working people where we're not supposed to. Oh wow, there's a face up there. You can see where there would have been a roof and a little grilled window right at the top of that tower. So there's supposed to be 100 and something faces. Here we are. Great Chapel. This elaborate chapel was used by the bishop's distinguished guests. The bishop and the palace staff used the chapel by the gatehouse. So this one was reserved for the more elite people. Pilgrims collected pilgrim badges as souvenirs. I did buy a pilgrim coin in Salisbury Cathedral. Oh, that man's chopping a pig up. Okay, that's gross. If you want to read, you can pause. Many of the guests who stood here were pilgrims visiting the shrine of St David in the cathedral. We are going to visit the cathedral next, but apparently the bones have now been carbon dated and they're not actually St David because they were too late. They think they could be St Caradog, who's also supposed to be buried here. So it tells you about the chaplain. You listen to the bishop's confession. The farming year started on Plough Monday, first Monday after Epiphany. And on November the 1st was when they slaughtered animals. Grim. For when winter started. I think I'd rather just preserve vegetables. I'm going to climb up those steps and read the board. This is an artist's impression of how the palace may have looked. Pretty elaborate. And the bishops were very wealthy people. There we are, how it might have looked in the late 1340s after Bishop de Gower's building work. Elaborate carvings, 150 decorated corbels showing animals, grotesques and human faces. Oh, I love grotesques. And parapets with checkerboard decoration in purple and white and impressive stairs. And if you stand up here you can see some of the faces. That actually looks like a lion or something. Quite a few are missing. I can see some more further along which you should be able to see. Oh, and you can see up there that's so weathered you can't really see that they were faces. And on the other side there you can still see some of the checkerboard decoration. I will take plenty of pictures as well afterwards. That's nice. We've actually come to stay in the area for a few days. It's not massively far from where we live, but it'd be difficult to do everything that we want to do in one day. The Great Chamber. Okay, that's impressive. The window has been restored, but it's beautiful. A sitting room and bedroom for important guests. Designed to impress visitors with its comfort and style. So after de Gower died, they weren't used so much because the bishops preferred to stay on their estates, and it gradually decayed. So it wasn't really used for that long. If I just pan down, you can have a look at some of the information. Oh, none of it was very private, so servants could monitor the room. Oh, I'd hate that. So you didn't basically have any privacy at all. The walls were plastered and painted, which is long gone, but it's a very large room. I'm going to see what's in this corner. Colin is with me, but I'm filming myself today. Oh, this is a spiral staircase. I'll go up there in a moment, and here's a display everywhere. Oh, it looks to me like the toilet or garderobe might be up there. And this is telling you all about how they're preserving the place. Pause if you wish to read. It's amazing. Obviously there are very few people around now who have the skills to do this kind of work, which is why it's so expensive to maintain these sort of places. The bath stone window. It's been repaired quite recently. You can see how weathered some of the stone is. Wow. Bishop de Gower was obviously loaded. And here is the toilet. Nice. It's lit up so you can even see down the toilet. I assume it goes into a ditch outside. And here's some stonework that's preserved. Oh, this is found in the well. I'm going to go upstairs now. Oh, that's silly, I've got my camera in the wrong hand for holding the rail. Helpful. Oh, it's not easy to get up here. There's a little room. Nothing in it, but a restored roof. Not much of a view out there. I'll continue up. You could sit in here if you wish to. It looks like no climbing. There we are. It's probably been a bit silly if you can. Oh, this stair goes the other way. So one staircase curved one way and this is curved in the opposite. Oh no, it's stairs with holes in. You know what happens when I go up there every damn time. Oh. These are tight. I mean, we're not big, but these are tight. And I'm losing my camera. Oh, look at there. There's a roof. That must have been that place where we were just in. Oh, I've suddenly got vertigo. Oh. There's really not a lot of room for manoeuvre. Oh my god. They must have had small feet, I can tell you. Oh. Right, we've made it. Oh, this is good. There's the view of the Great Hall and the restored window. There's the cathedral, and you can see just to the right of the cathedral, the gatehouse, and behind that another church. Oh wow, a bird just flew right over our heads. I wish you could get up into that little tower there, but it's inaccessible. But it looks pretty good. We're lucky it's out of season. So down there is like a massive drop, which probably was the moat or some kind of ditch where the toilet would have emptied into. I'm going to stop and take a picture. Smile. So this shows you reconstruction of what this hall might have looked like. You can see the window that's been restored on the right of the picture. Probably heated by fire in the middle of the room. I see they would have had entertainment by musicians. And knives and fingers to eat. Ooh. Yuck, yuck. I wonder if that would have been where the fire would have been. I'm going to take pictures later because I want to get round before it gets too busy. A few more people are starting to arrive. Nice. Can see some more kind of worn faces up there. That's impressive. There's some stairs that you're not allowed up. I don't know which bit to do first. There's stairs going down both sides. We'll try this one. Do not hit your head, the sign says. Ooh. This isn't easy. You stepped on the same thing that I did. Oh, it's not mega dark, is it? We just got to warn you. So now we're in the undercroft. Seems to be some kind of display at the end. Oh, that takes you out to the outside. There's picnic tables. Oh wow, there's quite a lot of undercroft. And here's some kind of model that we look at. Reenactment, or not reenactment, recreation. So that's a model of what the hall would have liked, like with the fire in the middle, tables with jugs of ale. That's that window at the end. It must have been pretty smelly and smoky. And then there's the table at the back, which I assume with the chair where the bishop would have sat. There's the bedroom, and you see the walls are all painted. And here's what it would have looked like as a reconstruction. It's quite good. And here's Bishop's Hall. There's another bedroom with a fireplace, bloke doing some paperwork, and there's a kitchen which looks very busy and chaotic, and lots of little people and pots, and she's waving a towel, and that poor bloke's got to stand there and turn the meat on a spit over the fire all day. I'm not sure which bit to go in next. That obviously takes you back up. I imagine that staircase comes out on the opposite side to where we just saw. So I think I'll go in here. Got to duck your head. Oh, this is the buttery. where wine and ale were poured from their storage barrels into flagons for the table. It's funny it's called the buttery then, when it was used for wine, not the wine cellar. Oh my God, feast day menu example. And that's what they would have eaten on Easter Day. Ugh, 5 pigs. That's disgusting. Oh my God. I'm surprised they didn't all have heart failure and like mega cholesterol. 1,400 eggs, 66 gallons of wine. And that's just like one day. And food left would be given to the poor. Well, at least you didn't waste it. Okay, that's really quite an obscene amount of food for 70 to 80 guests. And here's what it would have looked like. So there's the bishop wearing his mitre, and you've got some musicians up there playing, and they look like people at the side serving from that window. No eating of meat on Friday and during Lent. They're big on meat, aren't they? And ale would have been made in a separate brew house. I can't say I would have wanted to work here. It must have been very smelly and sweaty and noisy. That takes you back outside. Wow, this undercroft goes on forever. There we are, storage space and accommodation for servants. This doesn't want to focus. I think it's too dark. The workforce. Wow, so there must have been an awful lot of people working here. I suppose it would have been reasonably good employment, although at hard work. That guy in the middle looks pretty miserable. Most of the servants were male. Daily food allowance was a loaf of bread and a gallon of ale. Not very healthy. This is actually much bigger than I expected. Oh, it tells you what the tenants had to do. Oh, and they also carried prisoners to Clowhaddon Castle. Well, that's another one what we've previously visited. I'll put a link in somewhere. And there's a bloke chasing his geese. Oh, I think he's waving that to scare off the hawk. And those poor workers on their hands and knees collecting the corn. So you've got the bishop who was loading and then eating obscene amounts of food, and those poor people slogging themselves to death. And this is where the bishop's estates were. Clonarthny, that's where Aberglasney is. Llandilo, Pembrokeshire, and here's where we are now at St David's. And there's Lamphy, where we previously visited. So all the items that came from his estate: flour, fish, malt, fuel, fruit and vegetables, rushes to cover the floors and for roofs, meat and poor chickens, and pigeons, because they used to do pigeon eggs as well. And there's those unhappy looking people carrying heavy things. Oh, and a rabbit warren. The diet was pretty meat heavy. I know they mostly drank beer because the water supplies weren't all that clean, and you were less likely to get sick. And that's the bishop's steward who would have done the day-to-day running of the palace. I travelled long distances to purchase things that the bishop needed. I think that's the end of the undercroft. We'll go back up the stairs right at the other end. We're now going back out of the Great Hall. You can see there's some kind of flower carving, it looks like, but a lot of it is very worn away. It looks like it's in a constant state of restoration. It's a fine line between keeping it authentic and restoring it. Oh look, I think those would have been statues by the looks of it in there, in those niches. That's quite impressive. More kind of undercroft bits. This is pretty cool. It is massive, and there's much more of it left than there's more stairs going up there. There's much more left than there was of Lamphy Bishop's Palace. It looks like we can go up those staircase just up there. Quite damp in this bit. We're going to go up the stairs now. You've got to keep ducking your head. This is the kitchen. Head to the... This looks like a fireplace. And you know what we've got to do in a fireplace? Oh no, they've blocked it. Blocked up the chimney. There we are. Would have kind of looked like that. A hole in the floor let cooks throw the slops out, and a hatch in the wall allowed servants in the passageway to pick up dishes without going into the kitchen. And I don't know what that is they're frying off there. Oh, and they charitably gave away unwanted food. This looks like a mega fireplace. Wonder if this one's been blocked. No! Oops, God, I fell over. Wow. That's quite an epic chimney. Perhaps that's where the hole in the floors that they lobbed out the slops. You can see the tops of those arches from downstairs. It's brightening up. This afternoon we're planning to do a long walk along part of the old pilgrim route to St Non's and St Justinian's, with luck. If my knee and Colin's leg hold out. This is cool. Bishop's Hall. There's another hall here. There's kind of some plaster there still. can't believe how lucky we are, there's not many people around. There's one of the little jackdaws looking over the top. Seems to be a whole colony of them here. Oh, this is where the bishop conducted his official public business and greeted visitors. So this was a business part, which shows that it clearly wasn't as elaborately decorated. There seems to be some stairs in here. We'll go up here before anybody comes. Oh, dearie me, my knee will be dead before we even start on our 8-mile walk. So we'll be doing some of the old pilgrim route in reverse. I hope to see 2 holy wells. I thought it would be easier to do it this way round because there would be less people. That's a nice view. And there's another staircase. Oh dear. I can't believe how narrow these stairs are. I can barely get my feet on them without turning my feet sideways, which is difficult when holding a rucksack. Oh, this is a bit high. Low vertigo. There is the cathedral again. And here we can look down on the palace. Oh dear, I feel vertigo. This is the tallest point. I'm now clinging on grimly. Whew. There we are. I'm going to turn around the other way because that's giving me vertigo. There's not much room up here, Colin. There's like 0 room. I'm just going to turn around this way. There's a house here for sale that I really fancy. I might look it up online and see how much I couldn't pay for it. There's a door there, so that must have been perhaps where people walked across. Here, let me squeeze over. There's not much room. And I don't like heights one bit. My legs are going a bit weird. Nice remains of some stonework. I suppose it would have had stained glass. And up there, zoom in a little, it's a nice face. It's a shame there's not too many of them. You can see all the way along. Were faces, but they've all worn away. That bit you can't go in. You obviously could at one time, but it must be dangerous now. Here's another big pool. I wonder if this is the other chapel, the everyday kind of chapel that they said. We'll find out. Nice fireplace. And there's a tall chimney. Oh, there's 2 fireplaces in here. There's obviously some restoration work on this one. The east wing. And there's a blocked up door. Oh, and this tells you about Henry de Gower, the main bishop. finest bishop's palace in 14th century Britain. And he had a pet dog. Oh, and you can see his tomb in the cathedral. I'll take a photograph when we go in there. I can always add it to this. I'm not standing on that grid. Looks to me like that chimney has had a bird nest. Oh no, it's blocked up. It was a chimney, but there's a blocked up there. Look at that over there. You can still see the checkerboard effect on that stonework. Shame all that work he put into it and all the money, and it soon fell out of disuse. Bishop's solar. I'm never sure what a solar is. I'll soon find out. Oh, you sort of, you're responsible for Swansea Castle. I'm afraid that's a bit of a disaster area now. There's not much of it left. Some of the best preserved faces are in the Bishop's Chapel next door. You can see there's quite a nicely preserved one there. And most of them have been severely weathered. That looks like it could have been an epic fireplace. Most likely. Oh, we know what this is. The toilet. And we'll see if we can go into the chapel. Oh, look at those faces. They're still pretty well preserved, some of them. We're nearly all the way round, and then I shall take Minnie. So this must be the chapel. Oh, what that a view of the cathedral there. So this is where the best preserved faces are. Have a look. I suppose it must be more sheltered from the weather in here. Well, that's a good one. Wow. The shame is so worn away when you think how old they are. Some nice checkerboard stonework there. Thanks for joining us in our tour around St David's Bishop's Palace. I've really enjoyed this one. So thanks again and see you again soon. Bye.